What's up, y'all? I'm Paco, your host, and you're watching Occupy the Media. Now, I'm really getting tired of the mainstream media's treatment towards presidential candidate Ron Paul. You know, they downplaying his supporters, downplaying his support, claiming that he's unelectable, claiming he has an isolationist foreign policy. Well, if he's so unelectable as a Republican, why don't you ever ask him if he'll run as a third-party candidate?
Would you consider running as a third-party, perhaps libertarian candidate for the presidency?
If you don't get the Republican nomination, could that independent candidate be Ron Paul?
There is speculation that if you don't win, you might run as a third-party independent candidate. So does that mean that you might then consider an independent run?
No, it does not mean that at all.
But would you?
Two quick questions. One, I know you're tired of being asked about it, but it's incumbent upon me to ask anyway. Are you going to run as an independent if you drop out of the Republican race here? Wouldn't it make sense to run as an independent at some point?
Would you run as a third-party candidate?
I'm not going to do that. I'm not planning. No, I'm not having
You're not
any
planning?
plans. I have no plans to do that.
Not a no.
Would you ever run as a third-party candidate?
In the event that you don't win the GOP nomination, are you still leaving that option open that you would run as an independent?
And so I think that the possibility of running as a third-party candidate, perhaps as a libertarian, could be tempting for him.
Everybody wants to know if you would seriously consider, if you don't get the GOP nomination, a run as an independent.
Are you ruling out a third-party run at any point?
Yeah, Ron Paul, aren't you going to run as a third-party candidate? I mean, I know you're like, what, almost first, second in Iowa, like third in the national polls, but aren't you going to run as a third-party candidate? I mean, what are you trying to do? Win? Look, should Ron Paul run as a third-party candidate?
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Now, why does the media keep asking Ron Paul if he'll run as a third-party candidate? Because they don't want you to take him seriously. They want you to think that, you're wasting your vote because they say he won't get the nomination. That mainstream Republicans won't get out to vote for him, so he won't have enough support for the general election. Well, mainstream Republicans just means establishment Republicans, the 1%. So they're lying. They don't even make up hardly any of a good percentage of the voters at all. Now, if they can get you to believe that Ron Paul may run as a third party, then some people may vote, for someone else, or they may even vote for Obama. Now, they also say that, if Ron Paul runs for a third party nomination, then that will automatically give Obama a second term. Now, think about it. If that was true, and Ron Paul believed that, then why would he run? Why would he want that to happen? That doesn't make any sense. At the same time, y'all saying, if he does happen to get the Republican nomination, that too will mean a second term for Barack Obama. More propaganda. Now, I feel like Ron Paul needs to just come out and flat out say it. No, I'm not running as a third-party candidate. Stop asking me. Matter of fact, send a memo, a video, an email, tell all the other media outlets so they know not to ask me anymore. Or you know what? Even better. Next time the media asks Ron Paul that question, he should get up, throw his microphone off, toss his chair and walk out. I mean, get some publicity out of it, if anything. Turn it back on them. Give them a reason to play Ron Paul more on TV. Because they media likes that. They need dumb reasons to put people on TV. So hey, turn it back on them. I mean, every time they ask you that question, they're showing a sign of disrespect. It's like being in the Middle East and someone throwing a shoe at you. So, I mean, to me, it wouldn't be disrespectful if he did that. That's my opinion. Now, I know some people want him to run as a third-party candidate. But look, we need someone on the inside. Someone that can infiltrate the Republican Party. At least one of the parties. And see, that's him. He's our infiltrator. See, the government infiltrates our Wall Street movement. The Tea Party. They infiltrate all types of the grassroots political movements. So we're going to do it back to them. This is our way of giving them a taste of their own medicine. So hey, they come in our movement, our marches, and stir up trouble and cause riots. So we're going to run up in there, mafia organization, stir up trouble. And what's Ron Paul doing right now? Causing a riot. You know, the mainstream media can't take it. The 1% hates it that Ron Paul, you know, is doing as well as he is. Another reason why you shouldn't want him to run as a third-party candidate. Because they want him, the 1%, the mainstream media, they want him to run as a third-party candidate. And that alone should tell you something. He's interfering with their agenda. Now, I predict that Ron Paul is going to come in first in Iowa, Newt Gingrich going to come in second, Mitt Romney's going to come in third. For some reason, if that's not it, Newt Gingrich will be first, Ron Paul will be second. It's going to be one of those two. Now, for some reason, if he comes in third or worse, then I think the foul play is going to be some foul play with the votes that even Ron Paul will mention it. You know, because, see, in the last presidential campaign, we had many issues with foul play being done with the votes and cheating going on. And unfortunately, Ron Paul didn't speak on all the times that it happened. I think he only spoke on one episode or a couple. But we know that he has the most support out of any state. Now, sooner or later, after he, you know, does well in Iowa, maybe even after New Hampshire, they're going to finally label him as a front runner. That's what I predict. They're going to finally come out and say Ron Paul is one of the front runners. Once they do that, that's when they're going to bring the guns out. Heavy. You know, they're going to do everything they can. Try to create and twist whatever they can. Propaganda. They'll bring up the, you know, the racist newsletter. Try to turn off blacks and turn off Obama supporters from there. They're going to probably try to call him an anti-Semite. And then try to label him a 9/11 truther again. As, you know, because they think for some reason that's going to turn off, you know, certain voters. Now, of course, none of this is going to work. So that's why I'm afraid of what else they may do to him. And that's why I want to bring up this article, you know, that I came across.